Welcome to What's Treading with Tire Review, presented by AAPEX 2022. I'm Maddie Weiner, and on the podcast today, we're joined by Jimmy Blackburn, president of Blackburn OEM Solutions. Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Maddie. Thanks for having us down today.
Well, I'm so excited you're here, and I'm excited to delve into not only Blackburn OEM Wheel Solutions, but also just the wheel industry in general and some trends with you. So I guess my first question for you, as I was doing research for this episode, I was reading about the founding of Blackburn OEM Wheel Solutions, and the business started out as a hobby. Is that right?
Yeah,
Can you maybe explain?
It was. You go back 35, 40 years ago. It was a hobby of my father's.
Awesome.
He was a truck driver, delivery guy. So one of the things that he did was pick up hubcaps back in the day when hubcaps were more prevalent on vehicles, and collected them and displayed them, and little by little it became a business. So we started selling them on the street corner, and gradually it moved into a full-time business that now supports over 60 people.
Wow,
so.
That's awesome. Very cool. And you told me you're celebrating 35 years, is that right? Or around
1983 was the inception,
okay.
So yeah, we're on 35 years.
Well, congratulations. Yeah. That's incredible.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
It's been a very interesting ride. So
yeah, that's great. So getting into some wheel trends today, I'm curious what your thoughts are. As vehicles are being made to be lighter, rolling resistance,
sure.
At least in the tire industry, is so emphasized. So from your perspective, how are the way today's vehicles being made impacting trends in the OE wheel market?
Sure. Well, obviously, everything's all about miles per gallon, lightening the vehicles and everything. So, one of the trends is to continue to lighten the wheels. But with the style, they want to keep, the trend is to move towards larger. Fill that wheel well, lower profile tire. So in order to accomplish that, they need to remove some material from the wheels to give them a different design. So some of the styles that you're seeing now, 18, 19, 20, 22-inch, very, very popular.
Yeah.
That's the trend. So once upon a time, in the day, you saw 14 and 15-inch becoming somewhat obsolete. So the trend is towards larger sized tires and wheels. As the wheel gets bigger, the tire obviously gets a little smaller as far as the sidewall on that. So that's the biggest trend. And then more openings to the wheel. So the design is much sportier. Oftentimes they're highlighting the brake calipers and that type of stuff in the performance. But yeah, that's the general trend, is towards larger wheels, more exposure, and surely in the design of it. So,
interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, we've definitely been seeing that as well. And then before the podcast started, we were talking about finishes too. Any certain trends you're seeing with, I know carbon fiber wheels has been like a thing.
Yeah, there's some of those on the high-end sports cars and that. But once upon a time, the wheels were machined finish. Maybe with some accent in colors in the pockets and stuff like that. Now you're seeing all types of different things going on. You're seeing, some carbon fiber, appliques and layovers in the wheels. One of the biggest trends that you see now is add-ons to the wheel. So oftentimes it's an alloy wheel. That's where the market is driven.
Okay.
You're still seeing some chrome, and you're seeing some PVD, which essentially is a powder coat chrome for generic terms.
Yeah.
But the add-ons that they're putting on, so you have an aluminum wheel, now you'll see some chrome inserts that they're actually applying to the alloy wheel. They can be bolted on or glued on, and then different colors also. So not only in a chrome insert, but you could have a painted aluminum wheel or machined aluminum wheel that now has a color insert that's applied to the wheel. So gives the consumer some flexibility, gives the manufacturer some flexibility in style and design.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You're seeing a
Very cool.
lot of different finishes out there. Obviously,
Yeah.
black is very hot in the wheel side of things right now. So charcoal and black, but some neat stuff going on.
Nice. Yeah. And you talked about the aesthetic of it too. I mean, I feel like wheels, when you're talking, especially to these high performance independent tire dealers that deal with, like you're talking like the Lamborghinis of the world, like,
Well, even in your more modest cars, the style oftentimes, the wheel is helping to dictate the style
Yeah.
of the vehicle, and a lot of times people are purchasing a vehicle sometimes built on the style of the wheel, or they sometimes often have the opportunity to change the wheel to achieve a little bit different style. But the wheel, yeah, we're a little bit partial to it, but the wheel does oftentimes reflect the style of the vehicle. So yeah, definitely you see a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely interesting to see. And what would you say is one of your favorite wheel trends out on the market today?
Probably the one, once again, I can look at it from different perspectives. What sells best, or what do I like?
Well, both. I'm actually curious about both. Yeah.
There's, like I say, a lot of charcoal and a lot of black finishes that, it's a powder coat finish. Very, very popular. The manufacturers, you're seeing more and more of those add-ons to the wheel. So I've seen some carbon fiber add-ons to the pockets in the style. The chrome inserts are definitely a nice accent. So those are, I like the inserts. I like the flexibility that the inserts are now giving you in the automotive side of it. So
very cool.
Chrome is still a big finish. You still see it on a lot of your mid-size SUVs and your half-ton chassis, your pickups and your SUVs. Still see a lot of chrome on it, and it's a popular fitment, particularly in your oversized of 22-inch.
Right.
You see a lot of that. So.
Interesting. Okay. I know we we get some feedback from tire dealers about how chrome is so hard to change, like changing a tire changer or changing a tire on a chrome wheel is so hard to change. But they probably bring a lot of profitability from a business standpoint.
They're very expensive.
Yeah.
But a lot of the average age of a car now on the road is 12 plus years.
Yeah.
So those wheels need some maintenance.
Right.
You're seeing a lot of liquid de-icer and stuff like that is being put on the roads, particularly here in the snow belts, which affects the wheels. So they do need some maintenance. One of the newer products that you see in the marketplace is a wheel called a chrome clad, which is essentially an aluminum wheel that has a chrome plastic cladding adhered to it. So once again, supporting that lighter wheel, better MPG, and it seems to hold up much better where there's road salt and liquid de-icers, opposed to some of your older chrome dipped wheels. So definitely a trend there. So with the chrome clad, the finish was initially chrome, but now they're actually even expanding into some other types of finishes, like a carbon fiber look-alike clad, and even some finishes that are what we would consider like a hyper silver, so a reflective like silver finish. They're putting that onto a plastic clad and adhering it to it. So a term called hyperclad, the hyper silver finish on a chrome cladded plastic finish. Once again, very durable in the marketplace, and also gives you a lot of different flexibility with the finish on it. So.
Very interesting. Yeah, so many options. Very, very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Absolutely.
So I was going to ask you too. Obviously these last 2 years have been a lot of change for everyone with the coronavirus pandemic. So and a lot of people maybe weren't going to a tire shop or a tire dealership to talk with a dealer. So I'm curious from your perspective, how has Blackburn OEM adapted to changes in the way consumers or tire dealer businesses that you work with want to operate as maybe a result of the pandemic or just changing consumer behaviors?
Sure. Yeah, we're primarily a B2B business, and if you look back 10 years ago, probably 15% of our product was sold over the phone line. Now you fast forward now, 65% of those orders come through electronically. So you can see a shift in that. A lot of your tire manufacturers and service centers now are offering mobile where they'll come to your home or come to your work. So, that's changed the landscape a little bit as far as how people are shopping for it. And so, yeah, it's continuously evolving. But yeah, we're seeing much more electronic sales being direct shipped to a service center where it's installed, opposed to even a retail consumer walking into a tire and service center. That's still a solid channel. Oftentimes a customer may not even realize that the wheel is damaged till they go to get 4 tires, an alignment, and now all of a sudden there's a bend in the wheel or a crack in the wheel that makes it unsafe. So oftentimes that's when that that damage gets detected and replaced. But yeah, as far as the pandemic, it's affected miles driven in the industry, so it trickles into a lot of aspects of our business. So people's their regular rotation of periodic maintenance is off because their miles driven are off, so they're maybe not necessarily into the tire and service center on their regular rotation. It affects the salvage side of it, so there's less accidents. So yeah, there's been a little bit of a shortage of supply out there. Some of our product comes off of salvage where maybe a vehicle was totaled in an accident, but the wheels are still fine. When salvage is down, accidents are down, that source of supply, we completely restore that product back to new quality specifications. But there's definitely become a shortage in supply in the marketplace, not just from product that is here in this country, but obviously overseas production that comes into this country has been drastically disrupted. So some real challenges there in the supply chain that continues to be there. So I don't know if I answered your question directly.
No, you did, yes. And I'm sure you guys are dealing with like port congestion that everyone else is dealing with. And,
it's a lot of the same problems that we're seeing across the country. Labor shortages are a challenge. Transportation is a real problem, not just globally, but intercontinental transportation. The cost of fuel continues to rise and push into the whole transportation aspect of it. So whether you're talking about labor shortage, raw material, transportation, all of these are contributing to inflation and forcing all product cost up across. It doesn't matter if we're talking about automotive or if we're talking about just consumer goods across the board. You're seeing inflation and prices rising.
Yeah, that's so true. And from your seat, how is Blackburn working through those? I mean, talking about just some maybe short-term or long-term solutions. Can you maybe point to a couple of things that you guys have done to try to help the customers along and help the business, maybe get a little bit more, just sort through these issues? Yeah,
well, we've been fortunate. We've got a great team at Blackburn's. We've got a lot of long-time employees, team members that we did not miss a day. From day one through the pandemic, we were able to play right through it, and our team was fantastic at a lot of our vendor relationships. When the pandemic started, there was disruption across the board, and truthfully, a lot of businesses didn't know where the baseline was going to end up. So we stayed on our course. We actually are very aggressive about our stocking of product. We've got close to 100,000 parts in stock ready for immediate shipment.
Oh, wow.
And even though sales were disrupted during the pandemic, we did not, veer from our course. So we continued to stock the product, and that's always been our number one strategy, is to have the product ready for immediate shipment to wherever it's going to go. We're hitting 46 states a day. Our product ships to. Yeah. So it's a nice national footprint. But the biggest thing is that we didn't pull back on our inventory and our stocking habits. We played right through it. And now, as things start to work back into circulation and people are driving and that, we've been ahead of some of the supply chain disruptions. So really, just staying true to our focus, which is owning the product and having it ready for immediate delivery.
For sure, yeah,
So-
yeah. Well, that's great to hear. And Jimmy, I just want to thank you for taking the time to come on the podcast today.
Oh,
I really
absolutely.
appreciate it, and looking forward to obviously having another podcast with you to update our viewers and listeners about wheel trends and things like that. So I appreciate
Absolutely.
your
Thanks
time.
for having us down, and anything we can do to help, please reach out.
Awesome, thank you.
Great, thank you.